almost down, but he kept it alive.
His knee was almost down, but he kept it alive. Sutton does that all the time for those Denver Broncos. Welcome back to the Sports Spotlight. You are listening to us right here on Radio Azad every Sunday, 10 to noon. We are on the air, and man, oh man, it's exciting times. 22 minutes left. Shep, welcome back. And boy, I've got my Josh Allen jersey on. I'm ready. I'm ready for this game coming up in 22 minutes. The Buffalo Bills go into Jacksonville to take on those Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, oh man. You know, the lines switched a little bit. I think it opened up with the Bills favored, but now it's leaning Jaguars. Jaguars by 1.5. So
and they give home field 2.5 points.
They do. So it's essentially it's still a pick'em game, right? It's at home for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are coming in hot. Look, there's no two ways about it, right? They've won 8 straight, I believe. And the Prince who was promised, as Nick Wrong likes to say, he's finally come into his own. Now, he's not a superstar, but man, he's played well. He's played a lot better than he did the year before. And the record shows the Jaguars are sitting at 13-4, having won their division, having home field advantage. Everything is working right. I mean, they're playing good defense. They're running the ball well with Etienne. Here's the thing. First, you know, I want to get this myth out of the way. All I've heard all week long is, well, this is strength on strength. This is strength on strength. It's the Bills' offense, the rushing number one rushing offense, versus the Jaguars' strength, the number one rushing defense. Okay, let's pump the brakes. The Jaguars do have the number one rushing defense when it comes to yards. But do you know why? Because their passing defense is not great. So they lead the NFL in yards allowed on the ground, but they also lead the NFL in rushing attempts against them. They have the least amount of rushes against them. When it comes to rushing yards per rush, now they're not as bad as the Buffalo Bills, and I'll admit the Buffalo Bills rushing defense was terrible to start the season. They've been coming along in the last 4 or 5 weeks, so they're the trajectory that they're on. They're trending to a good side. Their defense the run defense has been strong. I mean, they held in that Week 17 loss, 13-12 loss to the Eagles. They held Saquon Barkley to like 23 carries and 60-some yards, right? Their defense has been coming along. So this is a myth that the Jaguars have the number one rush defense. It's only by the number of yards allowed. And now
their total defense is number 4 though in DVOA.
Total rush defense or overall defense?
Overall defense.
Okay, yeah. I mean, look, they've won games. They've won games running away. They've won with blowouts. I get it. And naturally, I will admit, right, when you've got a big lead, your opponents aren't running the ball, they're throwing the ball, so your rush defense is going to look better, your pass defense is going to look worse, all that good stuff. I get it. But the way these teams have been trending, to hear people say, the couple of things that really bothered me, one was this, the matchup of the number one rush defense. Let's see what happens when you've got James Cook and Josh Allen coming at you, right? Let's see. And look, if the Jaguars are able to contain Josh Allen with his legs as well as James Cook, they'll probably win the game, and kudos to them. So yes, it kind of is strength on strength, but I think the story has been leaning toward the the rush defense of the Jaguars. I think the story should be leaning toward the rush offense of the Bills. And with that, with the pinpoint passing that Josh Allen can do, and how he can put on the cape and take over the game.
Well, what about the other side of the ball?
The defense?
Yeah.
I have to hope that the defense that has shown up in the last, since the second half of that Patriots game, right? I have to hope that that's the defense that shows up. Because that defense that was on the field for that first half of the Patriots game, that ain't going to cut it. Not in the playoffs. You cannot count on being down 21-0 and having Superman bring you back. Like, that's not something you can count on. That's not something you should count on. Now, Milano's back. I think that Patriots game was his first game back. And you have to think between him and Shaq Thompson in the linebacking core, what they've been doing is not fluky. It is less fluky and more trendy, right? And that trend is going to continue. And if they can keep Etienne from running all over them, I think they've got a solid shot, because their pass defense is tops in the NFL. Now, again, I will freely admit, if your rush defense is just letting you run all over the place, nobody's throwing against you. I get it. Yeah. But I think there has been, when the chips are down, when the Patriots had to throw in that in the fourth quarter, the pass defense shined, as they have shined all season long. So I think this is going to be the Bills winning a 31-21 game and moving on to the next round. And it's gonna be maybe Josh. Look, I'll be happy if Josh has a 6-touchdown game, right? Obviously. If he has one of those 5-touchdown, 6-touchdown games, the Bills win. Like, they're not going to get outscored by the Jaguars.
So this one is tough for me, because I think that both quarterbacks are really good. Obviously, the Bills have a better one. Lawrence has been great the last 5-6 games, but Allen's been great the last 5-6 years.
Yep.
Right? So there's that. I think the Jaguars wide receivers have a case of the drop that I don't trust them yet. And just Jacksonville hasn't done anything in the playoffs in a while. So I don't know if I trust them to beat a team that continuously finds ways to beat people that aren't quarterbacked by Patrick Mahomes in the playoff. Right?
Yep.
I would say I think the Bills are going to win this game.
Just the playoff experience. Yeah.
And the fact that Josh Allen just always seems to make a play. And I don't know if I trust Trevor Lawrence, despite what he did for my fantasy team near the end of the season. I will say this, though. He did throw all over some good defenses at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and maybe it was him clicking in the Liam Cohen system. And this is where I think the NFL is just amazing. Right? You sit there and you look and you're like, well, man, it's hard to call this game. Right? For me, not watching people out one way or the other. But I don't have a good feel on this one. And the same as if, like, later today, the 49ers-Eagles. I think the Eagles are the better team, but it wouldn't shock me if the 49ers found a way to win that game.
Well, yeah, so that's a good segue. So I think we're in agreement. Maybe the fashion in which the Bills win this game, we differ on, but we're in agreement. The Bills, slight advantage.
Win. It always makes me nervous when Vegas feels the other way.
Yep. All right. Well, real quick, I got to tell our listeners about Luminous. Luminous is kicking off its 2026 tour in Dallas with an exclusive international designers trunk show with over 100 international designers from India, Pakistan, UK, and Dubai. Meet the designers and discover their newest collections. Discover the newest statement pieces, bridal looks, and limited edition designs. This is going to be at the Plano Events Center in Plano. On February 1st between noon and 7 p.m. And it's free parking and free admission. Refresh your wardrobe with the latest trends and meet the designers in person as you experience a day filled with fashion, style, and glamour. All right. So very unglamorous game, the Eagles and the 49ers. Look, I think we're in agreement. The Eagles are the better team, the better roster, right? Better talent. Yeah. But I think, one, Shanahan, this is no knock on Sirianni and the Eagles, but Shanahan has done more with less, especially with the injuries that he suffered through with, you know.
They've been a mash unit.
They have. Okay. They have. And they've been a mash unit for years, right?
They have. They need to look at their strength conditioning program.
Yeah.
I even saw some weird conspiracy theory articles that they're too close to power lines. It's affecting their tendons or whatever. I read it just because I was like, I don't know what the other explanation is for the 49ers.
Chemtrails.
I don't know if they, angered some voodoo witch or what, but man, their injury list
is long.
Insane.
Is long. But right now they're playing well. Purdy's playing well. And then of course they've got CMC, man. Christian McCaffrey is back. He's had a healthy season and a dominating season.
I can't remember who I told this to during our draft this year. I was like, well, I'd never draft him because he can't stay healthy. Well, he did.
Stayed healthy this year. So yeah, I wouldn't be I want to say I'm actually leaning 49ers because of the way these two teams have been trending, right? The Eagles' defense is superb, but their offense has just been, I don't know if they've been sleepwalking. I don't know. Very troubling if I'm Sirianni.
They're playing a defense that's beat up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they wake up. Maybe they wake up. But yeah, I think the Eagles, in the NFL, especially in playoff time, the talent will win out, and I think the Eagles take this. But I would not be shocked at all.
Look, the only way the Eagles lose this game is if they turn the ball over. I think. They're 6-point favorites for a reason.
Yeah,
a touchdown favorite in the NFL is a big favorite.
It is. It is. All right. Let's talk about, in the last 10 minutes, let's talk about the evening game, tonight at 7 p.m. in Foxborough. Yes, those hated Patriots are back. The Chargers go into Foxborough to play the Patriots. All the offensive line injuries for the Chargers, all the domination of the Patriots, all that talk, all it comes down to is a 3.5 point line in favor of the Patriots, which you get 2.5 for being the home field team, right? So it's pretty close to a pick 'em. I mean, it's a slight favorite for the Patriots. How do you see this playing out? Can the Chargers overcome their injury woes? Can Justin Herbert come around and get over his playoff woes?
Eventually, the Chargers are going to have to start winning playoff games. And look, I think Jim Harbaugh is a great football coach.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think he's a crazy person, but I also think he's a really good football coach. But the injuries they have, I don't know if he can overcome those against a pretty good team. Now then, flip side is we've talked about how easy the Patriots' schedule has been this year, and playoff football is different. I tend to go with the Patriots here because of the Chargers' injuries. But
you wouldn't be putting put money on this.
Yeah, this is why I don't gamble, right?
Yeah, I think if the Chargers can establish the run, I think they win this game.
Yeah, but I think this game has blowout potential for the Patriots.
I mean, they've done it all year. Now they've done it to bad teams now, but the question remains: how good of a team is this Charger team with the injuries that they're going through? But Omario Hampton is back in at full strength. Kimani Vidal was a good fill-in running back, so he'll be a good change of pace. But you're absolutely right. There's potential for this to become a blowout, just like at least 6-7 of the Patriots games have gone. But I will just come back to the Patriots have just absolutely feasted on the bottom. Right? They had the easiest schedule, as we've talked about, and in those games against the bad teams, they didn't just beat them, they demolished them. This is like Indiana, right? Yeah. But unlike Indiana, almost every time they played a good team, yes, they beat the Bills 23-20 in that first matchup, but the second time around in that second half, they just crumbled, man. The Bills absolutely.
They're a young team, and so there's something to young teams in the playoffs I fundamentally don't trust a lot. Because the playoffs in the NFL, man, they're different. The
pressure is different.
There's a different level of violence and physicality in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think the mental side, right? We shouldn't discount the mental side. You saw the pressure get to Etienne on those kick returns yesterday in that Rams game, right? He had not just one. The first one bounces off his face mask. So the next time, what does he do? He wasn't crowded, but he decided to call for a fair catch because in the back of his mind, he's still thinking about the first one that bounced off his face mask. And what did he do? He calls for a fair catch and has that one bounce off his face mask. Luckily, he caught it on that double clutch. But I think the mental side of the playoff pressure cannot be understated. And you've got, yes, Drake May has played really well, but he hasn't faced the pressure outside of a couple of games, that Bills game, maybe one or two others. Outside of that, he just hasn't been tested. He's played in these easy victories, blowout victories. So we'll see if Chargers.
But he's been making throws before
they
were blowout victories.
Yes, that's fair. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots win. Would not be surprised if the Chargers are able to, with their experience, both on the coaching side and this is not to discount Vrabel, but I think get down to it, brass tacks. I think Harbaugh is a better X's and O's coach than Vrabel is. So wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers pull off this upset, but I see the Patriots winning. All right, let's talk about this thing that I really need to let all of our listeners, especially the ladies out there, know. On February 5th, Radio Azad is presenting the most awaited ladies event of the year, Galentine's Day Ladies Party, Thursday, February 5th at 7:30 until 10:30 at Cavalli, which is right off of the Parkway and Frankfurt in Dallas. Lots of fun, music, prizes, and much, much more. Get your tickets ASAP before they're all gone. Tickets include dinner, and you can buy them at raladies2026.eventbrite.com, or for Zelle info or sponsorship, you can text Aisha directly 817-897-2217. Dress code is glitz and glitz and glam, and DJ services provided by DJ Vish. So do go check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Always a fun time at the Radio Azad Galentine's Party. All right, let's get to the Monday night game. This is going to be a defensive struggle. And the Texans are playing.
Struggle is the right term.
Right? I think. Sorry. I was going to say it's two offenses that have been struggling with a defensive side for each team that has been excelling the Texans much more so than the Steelers, but still, I think it's going to be a defensive struggle. Your thoughts, real quick.
13-10, 7-6, 12-9, something like that.
Either way, right? I mean,
defensive scores. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing would be shocking. I mean, honestly, I would not be surprised if this is a 6-3 game.
So weirdly, despite, and I'm probably going to be made fun of for this after this, despite Tomlin's recent record in the playoffs, I feel like the Steelers somehow find a way to win because the Texans' offense is so bad.
Yep.
That I think the Texans' offense is worse than the Steelers' offense.
So,
and
sorry, go ahead.
I think Rodgers is a much, much better quarterback, even at this stage of his career, than Stroud. And he doesn't make as many mistakes as Stroud.
Boom.
I think Stroud loses the game for the Texans.
That's what I was about to interrupt with a minute ago. Yes, because as much my personal lack of respect for Rodgers notwithstanding, he does not make mistakes. He just does not make mistakes. Historically, he just hasn't, and he still has not. Does he have the arm strength that he used to? No, he doesn't.
No.
Has he lost a little bit of accuracy? Yeah. Does he have the mobility he used to? No. But he just doesn't make mistakes. And Stroud has just been making mistake after mistake. And against an opportunistic defense, I will go with the quarterback who has a long history of showing not making mistakes. So, yeah, I think the Steelers find a way to win. And honestly, as a Bills fan, I want the Steelers to take out the Texans because I think the Texans, more so than any other AFC team, is Josh Allen and the Bills' kryptonite this year. And if the Steelers can take them out, and if the Chargers can beat the Patriots, the Bills could be hosting a home game against the Chargers.
Your optimism never ceases to amaze me. He's got a tight wire game today, but he's already looking at ways the rest of the playoffs fall for the Bills to host the game before they go into a new stadium.
Yes, one last hurrah at Highmark. All right, well, speaking of one last hurrah, it's noon. Games are kicking off, and it is time. It is go time. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I hope the Bills can pull. I'm going to sound like Red. I almost said Andy Dufresne. I'm going to sound like Red. I hope to see a Bills victory. I hope to see the Bills advance in the playoffs. I hope. Have a good day, everyone.
Later, man. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
You are listening